Well, this is a really important video for you and me. So the answer to the answer is residual money. The question is, how do you create more free time for yourself? The answer is residual money. So back in the day, 10 years ago when I had a job, I haven't had a job in 10 years. I just got back from this incredible 2-week trip where I didn't really do anything to make any money, but I was covered anyway and I don't have a job. Pretty cool. The answer, residual money. Back when I had a job, I was so busy I couldn't do anything else. What was the antidote to that? It was residual money. So I had to get started building residual money. And I had no money. I had no income. Actually, once upon a time, I didn't even have, um, this job was gone. It was offshore to India. I was devastated at the time. I didn't know what I was going to do. I didn't know about this thing called residual and passive money. So I had no time. I had no income. I had no benefits. It was all gone. So I had to get started. Except I didn't know that at the time. But my girlfriend, who had already got started, the girl I was dating at the time, she got started. She invited me. I said no for 3 months because I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know what I was talking about. I said no. I was really, pardon my French, but I was fucking myself to death by saying no for 3 months. But anyway, I got in eventually after hesitating for 3 months. I started to learn and I started to realize, oh my God, I have no time. I have no income. That's exactly why I've got to get started. And there was other reasons too. But it was like, that's it. I have to get. So I got started. And it took me 2.5 years to come to this beautiful place where I built up this income residually. Residually, that's the key. Built up residually so that I could totally be covered. So I was just away for a couple of weeks. I got actually more money came into my bank account than like the couple of weeks prior to that. And the couple of weeks prior to that, I was actually working at my leisure, of course, at my leisure, not anybody else's demand, like a job, but at my leisure. And then I go a couple of weeks, and some of that time I didn't even have Wi-Fi because I do this online. But for some of that time I didn't even have Wi-Fi. I was totally off the grid, and the money kept pouring into me anyway. So I'm covered. I can nourish myself. I can feed myself, I can keep the lights on, I can pay my bills, I can be responsible and all these other things and be covered because I built residual money and I stopped depending on a job for income, and I haven't had a job in 10 years now. That's the answer to all of it, because if you don't control your time, you can't control your life. You have no freedom. You don't even have the freedom to be yourself. As much as you want to believe that you are 100% real, authentic, and all that stuff. But if you depend on constantly having to recreate money, otherwise you can't pay your bills and feed yourself, then you have no control over your time, which means you have no control over your life, and you have no control over whether or not you even get to be your 100% real, authentic self, which is really sad. It's like you sell your soul and your spirit for a flippin' paycheck, and 49 out of 50 people do it. I crossed over. I'm part of the 1 out of the 50 now that does not participate in that world anymore. I think that world is not just different, it's not like just a different world, it's an inferior world. To have to sell your mind, your body, and your spirit to get a paycheck, or you stop getting paid. It's hamster wheel money. All job money is hamster wheel money, and the reason it's hamster wheel money is because look at the hamster. If he stops spinning, the hamster wheel stops. Like the hamster stops working, the hamster wheel has his wheel that stops spinning. And the same thing is true with your income at your job. If you stop working, if you get fired or you quit or whatever happens, then your income stops coming in and you lose your ability to cover yourself and to feed your family if you have a family. If you got kids and mouths to feed, it's all the more reason to not have that insidious type of income. It's the most sinister pyramid scheme ever devised against man, to control people through the dependency of money, especially people that have kids to feed. It's absolute nonsense. But what do most people with a family say they have to have a job for? The security, the stability, the money. And the only reason that anybody believes that a job is secure, or that a job is a reason to have a job, to feed their kids, is because of ideas that was planted by very few select people that need obedient workers to believe that nonsense, that a job is somehow going to be beneficial for your family. It's not. A job, pardon my French again, a job is something that you use, perhaps without knowing it, to totally fuck your family over every day. You rip your family off with it. You don't know it. I mean, who knows this stuff? They don't teach it in school. They need obedient workers. It's true. They need obedient workers. The ultra rich, some of the ultra rich, use employment to control people through the dependency of money. And you know that part is true. So if you know that part is true, you know that to put your family's livelihood, to stake your family's security, to stake your family's security and stability, and to stake your family's livelihood and to stake your family's nourishment into job money is the single greatest way to totally rip your family off and fuck your family over every day that you go to that job out of a dependency and a neediness for money. Because I'm not anti-job. I have to be careful how I word that. I'm anti-neediness. I'm anti-codependency. That sick, twisted fucking garbage that produces more poverty and a shrinking middle class than anything else ever in the history of the planet. And people defend it as a legitimate, secure way to make money and actually use their family as a reason why they have to keep it. It's just utter nonsense. But like I said, they need obedient workers. So those ideas are always being planted into the minds of the middle class and people that think having a job is a good, intelligent idea for money. It's not. It's not. And if you love your job, great. I'm not anti-job. I'm just anti-neediness and anti-dependency in that, because it's really sick to be dependent on that nonsense. And think about it. Your job is an asset and an income that you have zero control over. It can be taken away from you at any time for any reason. What is the essence of no control? No control means highest risk possible. Control means no risk, right? So don't let yourself be sold anymore that your job, for the sake of the income, is intelligent. It's not. It's income truly for dummies. Not that you're dumb, but there's a part of us that's dumb at something, especially me, so I'm not pointing fingers. And this used to be one of my dumb areas, because I defended having a job once upon a time as an intelligent thing for money and security and stability and a paycheck and all that other stuff. But I learned a few things. So now this is your opportunity, if you want to learn a few things. And you can go out there and search beyond me. Just look up residual income and look up passive income and look up, do comparisons between ordinary earned income, which is your job money, and residual and passive income. Compare the two side by side. And if you have a modicum of freedom of the mind, you're going to be like, holy shit, this ordinary earned income job money is for suckers. And you're going to be like, this residual passive money is the only income that has any intelligence whatsoever. It's like one is income for dummies and one is income for smart people. So do your research. Don't just listen to some talking head wearing a black cap on a video online. I hope that my video just serves a purpose to plant a new seed in your mind to start to study, and you begin a new path because you've had an awakening. That's it. That's all I hope to accomplish with this video. And if you want to look, oh, by the way, this 2-week trip I was talking about earlier, when I was offered this opportunity to build a residual and passive income, I hesitated for 3 months, like I said earlier, but when I took it, I took it. And now because I took it, I went from having no free time to controlling all of my time 24/7. I live underneath the thumb of nobody that can ever tell me what to do again, because I don't trade any time for money. I don't have to recreate any of myself or my time to get a constant paycheck. I have no hamster wheel money, zero hamster wheel money. I've made that transition. It took a couple years, but that time was going to pass by anyway, so to say I didn't have time was really not relevant. So it's like, it makes sense. You might as well start doing things now to emerge at some point in the future a free human being. But freedom of the mind is always going to precede that. If you don't first develop a freedom of the brain, tap into your free thinking critical faculties, you will never have any other kind of freedom. Period. So that's that. And if you want to emerge at some point in the future where you can spend your time doing whatever the fuck you want, and you're going to be covered financially anyway, so that you can eat and feed your family and provide real security for yourself and your family and have real positive impact over other people around you, then you really better take hold of this message and allow it to plant some seed and start doing your own research. And don't blindly follow me. I don't want blind followers. Do your research. Research residual income and passive income. Compare it to ordinary earned income, job money, hamster wheel money. And provided you made that decision in your brain that you're going to be a free thinking person, you ain't going to go for that ordinary earned income garbage anymore, because it's not just a different kind of income. It's flat out inferior income. It's income that is truly stupid compared to residual and passive money. And then freedom and real happiness and security and stability and all those beautiful things. Call it the American dream or call it your dream, which is even cooler. Call it your dream for yourself and for your family and the impact that you want to have on other people around you. You can't get it without residual and passive money that exceeds all of your expenses, period. That's the honest to God truth. All right, my time's up for this video. If you want to see more about me, I've got a website. It's called fireyourboss.xyz. It's not .com, it's .xyz, fireyourboss.xyz. Share this video with others if you know somebody else who would like to see this. Somebody who does not have thin eggshells around their feet, because they'll probably be offended, and I never say anything to offend anybody, but it just happens. Yeah, share this if you know somebody who'd like it, and visit my website, fireyourboss.xyz, and pull from it whatever you want to. I work for free. I've got thousands of pieces of content, so cherry pick from it whatever you can. That's going to help you out. And by the way, I'm going on another trip here soon in just a few days. Like, my 2 trips right now are 5 days apart, and whether I work or I don't work, I'm covered. It's all the same to me. It doesn't matter. I own my time, so I own my life, and I want you to be able to do the same thing. Okay? All right. Take care, everyone. Talk to you later. Bye for now.